Hello again, everybody. Atak is here, my Atak Sportz, for this Monday, March 14th, 2016. Alright, let's get on with some football news. Been very intriguing last couple days for the NFL as they officially begin their season when it comes to like free agency and freeing people and firing people and some people retiring. It's been quite the week with Peyton Manning retiring last week, Calvin Johnson retiring. So a lot of things happening with that, and also some big releases. Browns finally got rid of their error, that is Johnny Manziel. He thinks he's going to be playing football next year in Canada. I don't think any team's going to touch his ass with a 10 football. And Broncos want Kaepernick, but instead they got Sanchez. Mark Sanchez. Really? You expect the we be a Super Bowl champions with Mark Sanchez? He's a backup. Because they got Osweiler now, a Texan. Interesting choice because they have a quarterback issue last year with Hoyer and all that shit. So, big issue with that. And like it's a lot of people. And Kaepernick's the biggest free agent around. He wants to be traded. There was even talks about him going to Cleveland, but that's not happening. So, see what Kaepernick wants. Because he wants a trade. He wants to get out of Frisco. Especially with Chip Kelly now, the new coach of the Bears. And, of course, biggest news today when it comes to Packer fans, as B.J. Raji is stepping away from football this year. He's taking the year off. He's not retiring, but he's taking what he calls it hiatus. When fans of bands hear hiatus, that means they're breaking up and may never come back. When One Direction fans heard the word hiatus, they feared the worst. And that's what the fans of football are saying too with the hiatus announcement from B.J. Raji. Saying that despite a huge offer from the Packers, he does not have a total commitment to football at this time. I cannot rule out a return to the NFL in the future, but I'll definitely not be playing this season. He said in another statement that the health of his mother and his aunt will factor in his decision to miss 2016. It was a big part of the defense, as big of a big part of the defense of the Packers as my most favorite player, Clay Matthews. So, salute to you, B.J. Raji. If you do come back or not, you've had a great career as a member of the Packers. The Packers need a lot of people in the defense to make up for an okay season last year. And the offense not playing too well either. So, there you go. So that's the latest with the NFL, people leaving and retiring as we begin the early steps of the new NFL season. Now, a lot of wrestling this past weekend. Saturday was Roadblock, the WWE Network special. I didn't see that live per se. I did see it later on demand. I went to a local wrestling show the night of Roadblock, XICW. A friend recommended me to that company, and it was at the Imperial House in Warren, Michigan, on Grossbeck, between 16 and 15. And I enjoyed it. Some great local guys, and some well-known guys were there too. Rhino was there. He wrestled Tommaso Ciampa in a great match for the Midwest Heavyweight Championship. Well, EC3 from TNA was there, wrestling the Extreme Intense Champion. That was a decent main event, even though by the time the main event was on, it was a long night. It was like 3 hours. And even former WWE superstar Zach Gowen showed up, because he's still wrestling, as he took on Willie Watts, and probably one of the best matches of the night, besides the Rhino Tommaso Ciampa match. It was a very fun event, very fun local show. As much as I love going to WWE shows, NXT, and the Ring of Honor, I like going to indie shows. So I haven't gone to an indie show in a while. And I'm going to keep going to XICW. Support your local wrestling people. Like XICW and PPW. Pure Pro Wrestling. Another organization that's like Port Huron area. They do shows in Genesee County Fair. And they just signed DJ Z. From a TNA guy. So there you go. But back to Roadblock. Since I didn't make a proper review for it, I'll give my thoughts on Roadblock. It was a nice special. It was better than the MSG special. A lot better. But when it comes to advancing storylines for WrestleMania and maybe shaking up Mania, it failed on that. You had New Day against League of Nations members Barrett and Sheamus. It was an okay match to open up. The highlight being the reveal of Booty Holes. They actually have a real box you can buy. The box with a t-shirt in it. Booty Holes. They make sure you ain't booty. They're making New Day faces now. The last time they were faces, they failed. But I think now they're over. I think they could do well as baby faces. They don't fuck it up. Speaking of the continuing New Day League of Nations feud, I'll get to that in a second when we get to my wall preview. We also had Jericho full on here. I love this heel promo in Toronto against Jack Swagger. The match was nothing special, but I love Jericho's promo going full heel as he turned on AJ Styles last week. I'm smelling an AJ Jericho match at Mania, maybe made tonight on Raw. The best matches of the night were definitely Enzo and Cass against the Revival for the NXT Championship. I was happy they have an NXT match in there, especially in the tag team. It was a fun tag team match. Not a lot of heat for Revival, maybe because no one's ever heard of them. But Enzo and Cass, even for those who don't watch NXT, they were over as always. They were my favorite tag teams. And I hope they don't get buried on the main roster when they finally get there. And they lost to the Revival in a very fun tag team affair. Then there was a Diva Style match between Charlotte and Natalya, giving us hope for a long Mania match. A lot of people were like, they don't, like, Sasha, Becky, and Charlotte should be great if they gave them the time. Oh, it's not a 7-minute match. But if they can give Charlotte and Natalya 14 minutes on a WWE Network special and still be engaging and exciting, there's hope for an epic Divas title match at WrestleMania. Hopefully Ric Flair doesn't involve himself in the ending, like he did in the match between Natalya and Charlotte on Saturday. He was the main part of the ending of the match, distracting Natalya with Charlotte capitalizing. So, minus the Flair ending, it was a great women's time, great Divas title match between Natalya and Charlotte, proving that Natalya should be pushed a lot more. Then you had the ultimate puss out of the night. Brock Lesnar was supposed to wrestle Bray Wyatt. Instead, it was turned into basically a match against him and Luke Harper. They called it a handicap match, but Wyatt didn't do shit. It was basically Harper getting, 6 or 7 suplexes and F5. So, stupid decision by WWE. Saving this possible feud for SummerSlam. But you advertised Wyatt and Brock, and then you did a quick turnaround. It's like, what the fuck? Then you got the co-main, which was, surprise, Sami Zayn, who we thought was going to be on Roadblock to attack Kevin Owens. That was Monday. We'll get to him when we get to Wall preview. He took on Stardust. Nothing match, which was okay with Sami Zayn winning. The main event, everyone's still talking about. Dean Ambrose, Triple H. We'll get to the good and then the bad. The good. The match was great. They had interesting chemistry. Seriously, Triple H in his first singles match in a while, he looked good. But Ambrose looked awesome too. There was some great spots with the table and almost being used, and great physicality, great storytelling, great pacing. So a terrific main event. Now let's get to the bad. And why I said that when it comes to advancing WrestleMania storylines and shaking it up, they fail. I've said this all about WWE. When they have an opportunity in their hands to do something crazy, something shocking, something exciting, have Dean Ambrose fucking win the championship from Roman Reigns. When you have an opportunity to shake things up, they fucking fail. And this is one of those occasions they did yet again. Especially the cop-out finish with Dean Ambrose pinning Triple H, getting the 3 count, but then his foot was under the rope. Well, there's a lot of debate on that. His foot wasn't technically under the rope. There was a lot of bullshit on that. People was yelling bullshit over it, making fun of the ending with Triple H getting the quick pedigree. So, that's the bad part about it. Not only did Ambrose lose, he got screwed over again in a championship match. Even Reigns set to return tonight, expecting his ass to get booed in Pittsburgh. So a great main event, fun main event, but we would love to have seen Ambrose win. Fuck Roman Reigns. I've been saying about Reigns. I know that like for a big stadium show, like, you know, Reigns cupping Austin. The guy's been held down by the Authority, screwed by the Authority, then goes to Mania and beats Triple H. I get the story, but guess what? That's not the story we want. Maybe tonight when Reigns returns, maybe Ambrose can say, hey, I want a rematch. Triple threat. But we don't want 3 triple threats in a row. You know, fans are so picky. That's the thing. Nobody wants to solve anything. When the fans get complaining, they make a triple threat. Then you're buying, WrestleMania 30, Wan's last minute cash in last year, and now here we go. With a possible triple threat if they want Ambrose in, of course, he's supposed to take on Lesnar. And no holds barred street fight. So now my thoughts on Roadblock on the way. Before I get to my wall preview, congratulate the new member of the Hall of Fame. They've been announcing a lot of Hall of Fame members lately. We had Sting, the Fabulous Freebirds, Big Boss Man was announced last week, Godfather was announced a few weeks ago, and some of the names were leaked. And this was one of the leaked names, and it's official. Jacqueline is going in the WWE Hall of Fame, being, I think, the 5th or 6th diva to be inducted. I need to correct myself. We got Fabulous Moolah, Mae Young, Randy Richter, Sensational Sherry, Lita, Trish, Sunny, and Alonzo Blaze last year. 9. Jacqueline's the 9th woman to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Too bad the 9th woman in the Hall of Fame was not the 9th one of the world. China. That's a different story for another video. Jacqueline's very happy about being on, especially in her home state of Texas. She'll be inducted at WrestleMania 32 weekend. Saying to Fox News, I am so overjoyed. It's a great honor. It's the biggest honor to receive in WWE. And to be honored in the Hall of Fame in my hometown, it means so much to me. So congrats to Jacqueline on being the newest member of the WWE Hall of Fame. Of course, it's here we will air April 2nd from the American Airlines Center on the WWE Network. Now, let's get on down to my wall preview. Now with Roadblock done, then we can finally get build up for Mania and maybe get some more matches made. Top 5 questions must be answered tonight. Question number 5. Will New Day retain the Tag Team Championships against the League of Nations again? Well, they're taking them on this time. Instead of taking on Barrett and Sheamus, they're taking on the other 2 members of League of Nations tonight, Rusev and Del Rio. With League of Nations and New Day set to face off at Mania, possibly, they could have a screwy ending here. Or New Day loses and then a rematch at Mania. It's like, ugh. Like, as much as I hate this feud happening at all, they're trying to make the best out of it. They beat the New Day. Making these funny videos about them. The matches are just okay. The match on Saturday was just, yeah. So, they deserve better opponents. Not the League of Nations. Speaking of guys who deserve better opponents, and I'm glad he's not getting Big Show, or maybe, what will go down, question 4, what will go down with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and anybody else? Now, as much as we would love to see a Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn one-on-one match, which kind of gave us that impression that that could happen with Sami Zayn appearing on Raw last week, we could have ourselves a multi-man ladder match, or some sort of multi-man match for the IC Championship, with Owens, Stardust, Neville, makes sense because of what happened last week. Big Show makes sense because of the stupid stuff they done. Sami Zayn and a few, maybe Dolph Ziggler and Miz. But multi-man would be cool, but Owens needs a shine. He needs a full spotlight on him. It's the Kevin Owens show. It's KO Mania. So he deserves a one-on-one match. But if it's multi-man, I don't mind it. Like Sasha Charlotte, as much as we love to have seen him one-on-one, I don't mind Becky Lynch being inserted for a triple threat. I don't mind it. As long as it's good. And if Charlotte and Natalya Saturday gave us any indication, they're going to give the Divas at Mania enough time. Question number 3. What will go down tonight between Shane and The Undertaker? Now, both Shane and The Undertaker are confirmed to be on Monday Night Raw this evening. This will be the first full-on encounter between Shane and Taker, and Vince will be there too. There's also rumors Mick Foley may show up. Because there's rumors that Mick Foley may be involved in an angle in Mania. And what angle to get involved in Mania than to get involved in the Hell in a Cell angle? Especially, you have a lot of experience in that structure, especially against The Undertaker. King of the Ring 98. Need I say more? So there you go. All three components of the Hell in a Cell match, Shane, Vince, and more importantly, Taker, will be on. Hopefully, Taker says more than a sentence tonight than he did a few weeks ago when he was on Wall. And have some physicality with Shane. Or at least some sort of confrontation. And it will happen tonight. Speaking of Mania, question 2. Will we have any new matches made for Mania? Now, as of right now, we have about 3 or 4 matches for Mania. About 4. Obviously, the main event. Reigns against Triple H. Hell in a Cell. Shane and Taker. With the right to control wall on the line for Shane. The Divas title match. Charlotte in a triple threat against Sasha and Becky. And of course, no holds barred match between Lesnar and Ambrose. We could get Jericho and AJ May tonight. The tag team title match tonight. Possibly the IC title match. Ryback's going for the US Championship apparently. We saw that last week. Get him and Kalisto. So, and of course, Lana and Brie Bella's feud, which is kind of like unnecessary. So, we'll see what matches get added for Mania tonight and next week. Hello, we're like 3 or a couple of weeks away from Mania. So, I need to get the ball rolling. I know people are injured, but come on. Question number 1. Will Roman Reigns return? Now, Roman's been out for about a month, almost a month, since he was taken out in Detroit by Triple H, getting his nose broken to get his injury fixed. He actually got nose surgery, so I was waiting to white him out with him out with his nose injury. So now apparently he's coming back. There was rumors supposed to come back next week, but he's supposed to come back tonight in Pittsburgh. Next week it's Philly, and of course in 2 weeks Brooklyn, where we get his ass booed like he did in Detroit when he was there the night after Fastlane when I was there. So will Reigns return? And if he does, you have his eyes set on Triple H. Now they have successfully defended the title, sadly against Dean Ambrose. We'll see if these two get it on tonight, and they probably will. With Reigns out for revenge and out for blood. Pun to pun. Especially his blood was shed. Now it's time for Triple H's blood to be shed. Tonight on Monday Night Raw at 8 7 Central on USA Network. And that is it for the Atak Sportz. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned to this channel for my Raw review later this evening. With that in mind, you've been attacked by the sports news from Zach. See you later, yeah.